I'm gonna announce the first comedian of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. And accidentally, he's also from Greece. His name is Socrates. It's serious. His name is Socrates in glasses. In glasses. So, and he had a lot of accidents and troubles, but please give him love and attention and everything. And a big applause.
Thank you so much. Keep it going, Stamatious. There we go, baby. I like that sound for this audience. How we all doing tonight? Doing good? Yeah. I like this. It's like a little deja vu for me, but nonetheless, different crowd, different faces, but I feel similar. So my name is Socrates, and I'm from America. Yeah, thanks. A lot of times it's dead silence, you know. It's not always gets through a little laughter, but it's okay. I know we've had a rough patch. I don't know if you've noticed the world had a bit of a rough patch. I've had a bit of a rough patch recently. If you're curious, I'll discuss the old elephant trunk in the room real fast. You can't quite see the colors on that sucker, but that gets black in there. My arm is broken. It's like full-blown broken. And the reason it doesn't have a cast is because the Dutch are cheap. Had I saved them all, I'll be fine. I wish that was true, by the way. You know, when I see doctors, they give me drugs. You know, the ambulance guy's like, would you like some fentanyl? I'm American, so I really didn't want it. And then my arm was like, you should have the fentanyl. I was really glad I took it. It didn't do anything for me. Then I got to the hospital. They gave me morphine. And then more morphine. So, paracetamol my ass. Now I'm on Oxycontin. And that's helpful. I like it. Helps me sleep. But, so a couple things I'm going to talk about. Like, I'm going to do a word thing. There's a lot of words I've noticed, having spent the last 2 years by myself, just grunting and groaning and, you know, practicing my Dutch. I realize that words matter in some ways, and they all have a meaning. And, well, the word that I didn't think needed to be explained was fietspad. If you don't know, you really should if you're living here. It's called a bike path. And I don't know if you can realize or not, but there's like a limited number of things you can put on a bike path. It's mainly bikes. I was on a bike. I was. The car that drove onto the bike path, not a bike. And when I had a chance to talk to him a little later on, and I asked him, you know, about the whole bike path car thing, you know, was he a Dutch guy, or, you know, he said, I'm Balkan. They said, no, he's Dutch, but not from Amsterdam, which I don't think mattered. and I'm 56, so I felt right, you know, how old are you? And he said 59. So I felt he had more than enough time to learn the whole ins and outs of the bike path thing, you know. Now, the scooter that saw the guy on the bike path, he had the same thought I had, which was, what the fuck, you know, this is a stupid person. But he was like, I guess, so freaked by it that he gave him a lot of space, which was unfortunate for me because he took up all the space. Came around a blind corner, and all of a sudden, you know, I had seen the car, and I thought, well, this guy's an idiot. Then I came around the corner, and then I saw the scooter, and I wanted to think, two idiots, but all I could do was say, ah! And then I flew. The flying part was fun. That was the best of the whole thing, because that was just after the smashing in part. I was just flying free. Didn't last. Did not last. And then there was the crunching part and such, and realizing, hey, I think my arm is broken. And then I'm from New Jersey, and I don't know if you know how Jersey people are. I'm from South Jersey. We can only express ourselves in one or two simple ways, especially some fucking moron just drove you to breaking your arm on the way to the sauna. Not on the way home from the sauna, on the way to the sauna. Yeah, thank you, appreciate that. And I said to him, you know, something to the effect of, what the fuck are you doing? And, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, his explanation, by the way, the car driver, because I didn't really grab the scooter as much, although it was him that hit me. He was following his GPS. 59-year-old Dutch man, going down the bike path. Lucky you didn't send him into a canal or bank or something like that. I don't know. I felt the whole the evening was just generally annoying. So it's, you know, you've got to deal with your life and what life throws, you know, shits in your mouth. Sometimes you just gotta grab a beer and swallow it down, I don't know. I don't know if you've noticed, recently I saw Putin was on TV trying to explain what was going on. Apparently, he's just following his GPS. It's a better explanation than what he's really doing, I think. But, so, the whole idea of, with the world's crisis right now, I don't know if you've noticed it, it's like, the politicians are gonna save us. Because they're the ones that create the crises, so I'm sure they can figure it out. And people have a weird estimation of what politics are, they don't quite understand it. And again, going to words, it comes down to the word's origins. And as a Greek, you know, it's my genetic need to explain that politics is a Greek word. 56-year-old Greek man, you can never let that get past you, trust me. And anybody screws up, you say, Malaka, but that's the two things that everybody knows. But politics, it comes from Greek from poly, which means many, and ticks. Blood-sucking parasite that spreads disease. Politics. So I think when you realize that, we're lucky that, you know, at least they're not spreading plague, or at least, well, okay, they stopped spreading plague. They were doing a little plague spreading too. That was the thing for a couple of years there. But what the people really wanted was democracy, which, if you haven't guessed, is it's a Greek word. It comes from demo, to try out, and krisi, which is Greek for wine. Because what the people really wanted, they wanted to try some wine, have a good time, a party, you know. Let's kick back, you know. That's why the political organizations are all called parties. Nobody's partying like a Green party. You know, I've yet to have an audience really, you know, at least pretend to be Green favored, you know? It's like, I'm 56, I don't give a shit about the environment, but you don't. So, we have Germans in the house tonight. One over there, with the mask on, which I'm not putting down for, but I can't blame you because, you know, these Dutch people. And the immigrants, you know, expats, sorry. But, you know, you can judge a lot by culture, by their words. You know, that the Germans had to come up with a word for this feeling of enjoying other people's pain and suffering. You know, Schadenfreude. And if you have, oh, so thank you, appreciate that. I've been practicing once in a while. So if you have Schadenfreude, you'll love my set, because, you know, maybe I've got a joke or two, but the guy's got a fucking broken arm, and that's hilarious if you're a Schadenfreuder. Like in the US, we have a personality trait that we see all the time, so we had to come up with a word for it. That's the word asshole. You've seen tourists, I'm sure. But of course, the Dutch, being superior to all of us, you know, they claim this land out of the water, because they don't like fish. But they have their word for the warm, wonderful evening, which is what we're having tonight. And it's not based on me doing it, it's based on all of us doing it as a group. Of course, if you know the word, is gezellig, which is, of course, a very Dutch word, because it starts with a ch. It ends with a ch. It's got that zel in the middle, which is awesome. You know, all good Dutch words have that kind of horrific sound to it, you know. You know, the word, do we have, who's from where are you guys from, non-Dutchies? Where you guys running from? Are you Dutch? Slovenian, okay. Well, in American English, for the people we love the most, we call them honey, sugar, sweetie pie, something fattening, gives them heart disease, yeah, inheritance. It's a system. What's the word in Slovenian for my favorite little loving sweetie pie? Ljubica. That's a nice word, ljubica. I like that. You know the Dutch word? Schatje. Schat. I don't get that even in a slice of bits, you know what I mean? I personally prefer the word outje, which is a little tiny onion. But it sounds better, outje. Outje. So I think the one word I've been recently learning in Dutch, and I'm trying to understand, I get it more and more, not only gezellig, which this is, but it's the hardest word in Dutch to explain to people, and if you've ever dated a Dutch person, this is a word that will confound you. And that word is, Because you'll hear that word in every possible situation, you know. It could be anything. And if you don't know what it means, well, if you're riding your bike and a scooter comes out of nowhere and smashes into you and breaks your fucking arm, and you're just trying to deal with it, the only thing you can say sometimes is, my name is Stamatious. You guys are great. Thanks so much.
Ja,